For Brad, it is horror movies. Horror movies. Brad, you've got 2 minutes.
I'm 8 years old, love horror movies, but my mom never let me watch it. She said, no, you can't watch scary movies because I know it's going to happen. You're going to wind up in my room with your father, and we're going to be up all night, and it's going to be horrible. I said, please, please, there's this great movie called The Exorcist. I heard so much about it. So I go over to my friend's house later that night, slept over my friend's house. We watched The Exorcist. Not only was it scary, it was just gruesome. I remember the first thing that happened, it was based on a true story, so I said, I really have to see this. And The Exorcist, the person who's being possessed, her head's like spinning around and around. All of a sudden, she vomits pea soup. And I'm like, oh my God, my mom's gonna kill me because she makes soup every single meal. And I'm never gonna be able to have soup again, whether it's pea, whether it's bean soup, chicken soup, it doesn't matter. So soup is now off the limits. That was the scariest movie, but that's not even the best scary movie. When you think about all the great horror movies of all time, I look at three things. First of all, I want something that has longevity. And that brings me right to the greatest horror movie of all time, Psycho, the original. Anthony Perkins, Alfred Hitchcock, classic. Then, what else do we need? What can make this a great movie? What can make it scary? We need sequels. We have 4 of them. Psycho 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have Psycho version 2.0 with the comedian guy. I always forget his name. Vince Vaughn. So now we have a remake of it. So when you have a remake and a classic, this movie lives on and on. So there's one more thing that we need to make this the greatest horror movie of all time, and that's a memorable scene. And I'll tell you what, from my days when I was a kid loving to scare the crap out of my sister, there's the shower scene, and I used to do this over and over to her again. And I taught her a lesson. Lock the door if you're taking a shower in the house because I'm going to come get you. And there it was. Every single day, I would go there with a banana and scare her. And I loved it. Best days of my life scaring my sister. Thank you.
There you go, Brad. Nice job. Nice job, Brad. Let's get a thought. We'll start with Andy Johnson.
Yeah, man, I thought you did a pretty good job of connecting it back to your mom. I like that. I thought you started a little slow by just kind of telling what happens in the movie, but I think you really kind of hit your stride about halfway through when you said the best horror movie of all time is Psycho, because that's something that's going to get people fired up either way. Either you agree or you disagree. Everybody has an opinion on what's the scariest movie of all time. The only thing I would have changed a little bit is maybe what you like about scary movies. Why should people like scary movies? If I don't like scary movies, why should I go out and watch them? I think maybe some of that kind of stuff. But all in all, I thought it was pretty good, and I thought you finished really strong.
Thanks.
All righty. Jeff Austin, you probably saw Psycho at a drive-in or something back in the day, right?
Oh, that's a good one. I'll remember that tomorrow when we get back and we start talking about paychecks. It was good. You jumped right in. I think you were prepared to take this subject on because obviously it's in your wheelhouse. Exorcist, that's a classic. Hitchcock, Psycho, that's really classic. But I was you were going to pay it off. There's one thing about horror films. I thought you were going to give us the truism, which is you take your clothes off in a horror movie, you die. And it's like Star Trek where you wear the red uniform. Same thing. I was waiting for that. I didn't quite get that. But otherwise, I thought you paid it off pretty well.
Thank you.
All righty, let's get a quick word before you go, Brad, from Coach and Suk, who is a movie connoisseur himself.
I thought it was really solid. Agree, I thought you really hit your stride at the end when you were talking about Psycho and related it back. By the way, Ed Gein, more hot Ed Gein talk on The Fan. We can't get enough of it. He was the basis for Psycho. You obviously had a good knowledge of it. You sold it. You stuck to your strong suits. You talked about things you were passionate about, and you were into it. Even if someone hadn't seen The Exorcist or hadn't seen Psycho, they know that you loved that movie because there was a passion for it. I thought you did a real good job, and a lot like the other two on our team, I thought you've taken it to that next level. You started here, you climbed here, keep going, and you're going to be fine in this competition.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Nice
Thank you.
job.